Okay, part 11 of the older SR250, and this morning we've got the brake pedal, the gear lever and the arms for the brake shoes. They've come out of the vat and they've turned out pretty good, nice and shiny. So they're ready for a coat of paint. Those I'm not sure, I might just leave those chrome actually. Haven't quite decided, but they're cleaned up anyway, ready. There's other important things I'd rather spray up than those at the moment, so I might allow a little bit of shiny bling on there. So the next thing to dip at the start of today is going to be lump together all the engine mounting brackets and bolts, so that can have a good old dunk. I've given the old wheel seems to work well, so I've just gone over that with a lap wheel to get the worst of the surface rust off, to expose a bit more metal. I'm not really sure if that makes much of a difference, but that's the side that we dumped in there, so we'll see. So I'll get those in the vat and yeah, get cooking again. Right, okay, you might remember that in yesterday's dip, or the last video's dip, I put in the foot pegs and hanger brackets as well, and I took them out to give them a clean. They didn't go quite as well. I mean, the lot I've just put in there now, the engine mount brackets, they're just fizzing batshit crazy at the moment. That's excellent. So I do think actually it was worth preparing the surface a little bit, getting some clean steel through, getting good contacts on both, and that really has improved the process. So that's going really well. These ones I could maybe do them again and leave them in a bit longer, but as I started, well, I didn't even start cleaning them. I looked at them and just decided that they're actually really fugly. I don't like these great big lumpy foot pegs on there. The rubbers are perishing in here, so I think a bit of modification is required, and I don't really want to go spending a lot of money on fancy foot pegs, because I haven't got the money to spend on fancy foot pegs. So I was looking around to see what I could potentially come up with, and my eye spied my trusty BMX, which is just laid in the back garden, really getting rusty for ages, because I'm not as fit as I thought I was when I bought this. Or indeed as young as I thought I still was when I bought this. But I've got a set of the old stump pegs on the back of there, and I reckon they might make a groovy pair of pegs, possibly. So I'm going to whip them off here and then get them up on the bench and have a little bit of a look at what I can do with them. Right, okay, first off, there's a stump peg. It's obviously a bit shorter than the stock peg, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to just cut this whole tab off and have this flush bit, drill a hole, and then it's threaded. I can just bolt that through there, so that'll be pretty strong. Or let's get the peg out and maybe try and work something out so I could still have them spring loaded. Not sure yet. So I think the first call of action is to get the peg off, rather than having this sort of circlip arrangement or anything like that on a normal pegs. It seems to be some sort of fairly permanent rivet on there, so I'm just going to grind the head off that, tap the pin out, and then we'll go from there. So there we go, quick bit of grindage later, pegs off, springs are out, pins are fucked, but that's okay. So there we have it. I am now just looking at this, wondering what lies beneath the rubber. So I might sacrifice this just to see, because there could be some way we could combine the two here. I'm not entirely sure. What other options have we got? Well, I could still probably just grind the faces down a little bit and put that on there like that. Right, let's have a little thinking of play. Okay, work in progress. I'll cut the rubbers off, and that's what you're left with. That's the metal foot peg. It's got this kind of all the rubber moulds around it. This bracket here and a couple of tabs here. So I had to play with the other one and detabbed that, took the edges off and just give it a quick just clean up. I'm wondering if that's going to be infinitely more usable as a peg. Obviously I'm going to need to do something about the grip. So I was even thinking about drilling some holes, maybe pop some rivets through just for bumps in there. Yeah, not sure about that. Yeah, that possibly might not have needed the old stump pegs after all. Because the other things I was thinking of, depending on what I found underneath there, was to, you know, weld a tube round. Let me keep thinking. So that's both pegs kind of detabbed and in a rawish state. Started cleaning up that one a little bit. Still got a bit to go on that one. But yeah, just trying to think. I'm still quite keen on the rivet idea along there for a bit of grip, but yeah, I'm going to think on that for a little bit. Just see what I can come up with. Posties arrived, so I'm going to go and have a look at what that packages are. There's about 3 or 4 packets, but also I've just pulled the engine brackets out of the electrolyte bath, so they've turned out quite nice, so I'll just give them a quick going over. And I'm thinking some of the packages is more tough black spray paint, so clean these up. Can't decide yet if these are going to get powder coated along with the frame, because that one's quite sort of low down on the bike, so it'd be quite nice to have a bit of a solid finish, but then that tough is supposed to be. I will see. I'll give the forks another coat, a couple of coats, and yeah, let's go and see what the postie brought us today. Well, hey, super goodies today. We've got the dust seals have turned up, so they can go in the fork pile. 3 cans of tough black and 3 cans of VHT, and some tapered head race bearings as well. They aren't going to go in yet, but yeah, I think as the weather is nice and it's dry and warm, I think seize the moment. Let's get some painting done outside. Hey, 2 coats on the engine. Looks brand new. That's just a freshly applied second coat, so that's still a bit glossy, but yeah, it's giving it a new lease of life. Right, okay then, down to 2 tins of tough black and about 2/3 of a tin of VHT paint. So most of the stuff is painted. We got the starter motor, that went black, so that's had a good few coats on it. Just had its 5th coat, I think. The old drum brake arms, and the bottom yoke has had some tough black on it. As it's drying now, I'm just wondering if I should have maybe put the bottom race bearing on first, but I'll just have to be a bit more careful when I'm driving that home, not to damage the paintwork. Engine is looking really nice. Last minute, remember there was the oil filter cover as well. So that's had, I mean, that might even be 7 coats, I think, now of VHT. Let's see, all in, that's been 3.5 cans of VHT on there. So it's pretty well covered. Even managed to do some washing. Look, I'm like Martha fucking Stewart. And then the swing arm, I mean, that was on the on the beam anyway, so as I've been doing the forks I've been giving them, so I mean that's probably had, man, 10 coats, I don't know, quite a lot. And the old fork legs are great. I might just crack open one can and just give them a final coat, just because, I don't know, the sort of bits that are going to get a sort of gravel rash and a bit of abuse, might as well lay it up nice and thick. So I think that's kind of pretty much a stopping point for me really now. Yeah, I'm kind of finished the paint. I want to save most of those 2 cans for the wheels when they get ready to be done. And apart from powder coating the frame and clear coating the tank, we're kind of there with most of the bits all reconditioned, I think. Yeah, we're pretty much there. So I'm away for about a week now, doing bits and bobs, well, not bike bits and bobs. So this will probably be the last video for a week. So yeah, sorry about that. But that should give all of this enough time to sort of cure. I mean, it's going to be longer than a week before I start doing anything with this anyway. You know, I've got to get the frame welded, clear coat the tank, finish the seat. So they're all the next sort of things to be happening. But yeah, I'm just going to go in the shed now and clean up those engine brackets, just get them down, and that'll be it. So see you in a week. There you go, a bit of elbow grease, getting the all the engine brackets cleaned up. Just literally going over them with the wire brush, and yeah, they're coming up really nice. I mean, obviously there's a tiny amount of pitting in there, but I think once that's powder coated, that'll be solid and as good as the day it rolled out of the factory.